surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no. Stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
This one hit well out to right center. Beavers chasing after it. Into the gap. It's out of here! Luis Garcia Jr. with his 5th home run in his last 6 ball games. He's driven in 4 of the Nationals' 5 runs here today. One of the hottest hitters in Major League Baseball. And it's 5-2 Washington.
Super. That's Dan Kolko on Nationals TV. Super.
He would homer again, too.
Super. Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't. I missed that. It was a big day for Luis Garcia Jr. Awesome. Just great stuff all around. Orioles come home, win Friday night. You're thinking like, all right, another chance maybe to get a little momentum going. Forget about what happened in Anaheim. And then they said, hey, the funny thing about that is go F yourself. We're not doing it. Lose 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. They drop back to 7 games under 500. It's not good. There's just kind of no way around it. It's not good. And the only thing we can keep saying is, yeah, but, you know, when you think about it, they're still only 3 games out of a playoff spot. And we can only say this so many times. This isn't a good baseball team. They're not good. If they're not good.
But if
right. But also the American League's bad. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What's going on with your mic?
I don't know.
today?
I just heard it now.
Yeah, what happened there?
Check. If Gunnar, yeah, you're right. That's not good.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What'd you do over there, huh? I never know what you're doing over there. Mom, the meatloaf. I never know what he's doing over there. Hey, you know what? While we have a second, I do want to say something because I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but today is a significant day. Someone is celebrating a birthday today. I know, not perfect. Not perfect. We celebrate him despite his flaws. Happy birthday, Gunnar Henderson! It's a big day, man.
There we go.
It's a
there
big day, right?
A lot of me.
Celebrating a big birthday, Gunnar
Yeah.
Henderson.
Hopefully that's what he needs to.
Happy birthday,
get going.
Gunnar. Happy birthday. Pretty sure that's it, right? That's the whole list?
I think so,
It's
yeah.
the whole list of birthdays is Gunnar Henderson.
Kawhi Leonard's birthday
celebrating.
is today.
It's Kawhi Leonard, who's
Yeah.
apparently going back to Toronto. It's a lot of weird NBA stories. This weekend.
Colin Jost's birthday is today as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I got nothing on Colin Jost.
I'm trying to think of who others' birthdays because
I
knew a lot of the popular ones. Those are the big ones, I think.
All right. Well, happy birthday to all them.
Those 3 guys, yeah,
what
today.
a day June 29th is. Big birthday day. Happy birthday, Kawhi, and happy birthday,
there we go.
Gunnar Henderson. Right there. There you have it. I'm sorry. Oh, it's Griffin's birthday. Yeah. Oh. Well, I'll be. I guess that one counts too.
Yeah.
For
maybe Gunnar will hit a home run or something.
For your birthday,
birthday.
your favorite team is 7 games under 500.
They're not my favorite team.
Happy birthday. Oh, no?
No.
Who's your favorite team?
The Wizards.
Holy yes.
Yeah.
You're going all the way to that? Well, they're going to trade Anthony Davis, apparently.
Good. We don't want him.
Yeah, well, you're never going to have him for the record.
We have Alex Sarr.
That's true. For what it's worth, the best possible scenario is that you trade Anthony Davis and stop convincing yourself that it's going to
I
make
think
a
Anthony
difference.
Davis, I think he wants to go back to New Orleans. And we'll just go Derek. We'll just take Derek Queen.
We'll take Derek Queen.
Yeah.
Well, the word is it's going to be Jimmy Butler for Anthony Davis.
He'll fit in.
Sure. I mean, what is going on in the NBA that everybody's trying to trade for an octogenarian? Like, what is the Warriors' solution? Is let's get Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Okay, man. That's a killer lineup in 2019. Like, that's a really good. Like, what?
You're gonna eat your words, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat my words. Jesus, dude, just put more NBA 2K 17 guys together. See if you can't figure that out.
To your point, maybe hopefully they bring Kevin Durant back to DC as well.
Yeah, just go all octogenarians, just go all in. Yeah, and apparently the Raptors are going to bring back Kawhi Leonard. I mean, that's not done.
How are they going to do that? Do they have a fake corporation as well to filter money into his account?
Get Pablo Torre on.
Yeah.
There. Yes, happy birthday, Griffin.
Thank you. Thank you.
He turned, I believe, 20. I think is.
That's nice that I keep losing years.
It's the big one today. Is he almost going to be able to drink? Almost. How good's your fake? Anyway, Griffin.
It was good-ish. I don't know.
You were. I never actually had.
It's scanned, which was nice.
Oh yeah,
until one time it didn't.
Yeah, I didn't have to worry about this.
And then they asked my address
when I was 19 years old, all the way back in 2000.
Yeah, like 10 years ago. Yeah.
I wish. When I was 19 years old, in fact, I think the statute of limitations is up on this. I'm not going to say his name
because you really get in trouble.
I had a friend at Maryland. It's funny because we were talking about fakes recently, and my best friend, my best man at my wedding, old roommate,
Proctor?
No, not Proctor. Proctor's a longtime friend. He is
Drew.
God, he is a longtime friend.
Should I guess your best friend?
My buddy Matt. We were talking about fakes recently, and I mentioned something about a fake, and Matt was like, "You never used a fake," because I specifically and exclusively used it in College Park. I never used it anywhere else, and I don't know why that. Oh, because it was kind of a community fake.
Oh, you guys were passing it.
Well, it was a stretch. I don't know if I can use. I don't know if he'd like me sharing the story. My buddy Sam Angel, who did work in sports for a long time, he worked for the Ravens. He worked at Maryland for a while. He was the women's basketball SID there. He's out of sports, so I think he'd be okay with it. Sam and I don't really look alike. We really don't. And yet, I know we both use this ID at different times. I also know that we were able to get away with things like this because sometimes when Sam was working a game and I was not, he'd ask me to use his ID to get his points. Like when we were both in school at the same time.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Like he'd ask because he wanted the points for like, I don't even know what you got out of that.
For like dining points or something, or like
I know it was like you got like preferential something.
Oh, okay.
If you went to more games.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he would ask me to take his ID, use it to get into the game, and then you would get like something. I don't even know what it was. But Sam and I did not look that similar, but there were no scanners back in the day. And these people were not going that, they didn't care that much. And so I happen to know that we both also used another person's ID. And I don't think either of us really looked all that much like that person. So yeah, it was a community. It was sort of a community ID.
Gotcha.
In College Park. That's why, like my buddy who was like,
I didn't know dudes could get away with that. I know girls are, and it easily, obviously, yeah.
Nobody at Cornerstone Bar and Grill was all that worried about kicking you out
using its government name.
Yeah,
Seastone.
R.J. Bentley's was not all that concerned about having fewer people in the establishment on a Friday. God, these places still exist. I mean, Bentley still exists.
Yeah.
Is Cornerstone
yeah,
still
Seastone's still there. Yeah.
I haven't been. Seastone.
That's what we call it.
We definitely just call it Cornerstone. I don't want to disparage these places. These are fine institutions.
Looney, how long's Looney's? Looney's has been around.
Looney's was not there.
Okay.
There was I try to think of other places that we went to. I mean, is Cluck U's gone, right? Not that we would drink there. Obviously.
No, I don't think.
But I think they got rid of Cluck U, and Cluck U was an instant. Like the number of times that you would order Cluck U at 3 a.m. fall asleep, and then there'd be somebody banging on your door at 4:30 to deliver you your Cluck You. Hey,
if my sister,
I got a little Red Roman out here.
If my sister's listening and I'm wrong, let me know.
Oh God, that was a
Cluck You.
sad day when Cluck You. When we heard that Cluck You was closed. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is closed.
Cluck You College Park. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we went to Cornerstone. We went to Bentley's. When you got a little bit older, God, what was that place called? The Pump. We went there, but like that was a dive. And then they put, because none of those high rises were on Route 1, like all those like lovely condo and apartment buildings. None of them existed when I was that age. So lots have changed over the years. Anyway, I don't know how because Griffin's birthday.
Yeah,
Happy birthday, Griffin. It's more pleasant than talking about the. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? I mean,
starts today.
Sure it does. And if they go on that win streak while we're gone.
Yeah, I guess.
See, we got today, tomorrow, and then...
I was hoping it would start beforehand so we could say, well, we did shows.
Right, so it had nothing to do with us.
And then they kept winning anyway.
Well, there definitively cannot be a win streak before we leave. There could be a win, but there could not be a win streak.
One game win streak, that's a thing.
No, that is most certainly
a W1
not.
is a streak.
It's not the way that it works. Brad Brach will join us in a few minutes. We'll get his thoughts on what's been going on with the Orioles. Later in the hour, Ian Nicholas Quillen, who is covering the World Cup for Field Level Media, as well as Forbes and Deadspin and various other locations. He will join us as well. We'll get ready for the U.S. and Bosnia-Herzegovina on Wednesday evening. Couple of thoughts from the weekend. The Kyle Bradish thing sucks. That was the one thing you thought you had going for you. While the Orioles are terrible against Zach Littell, although Pete Alonso tried to change that. He doesn't have a track record against Zach Littell. You did think that, like, hey, if you got to win a series, if you got to buckle down, at least you have Kyle Bradish going. I am not unconvinced. And I don't know if he spoke about it afterwards, but I am not unconvinced that the air show didn't have something to do with why he was so rattled yesterday. Because admittedly, it was tilting to me, and I was just watching the game from home. And it was infuriating to me, like, the air show is the coolest thing in the world. The downtown was vibrant this week and alive. May we have one of these. May we have tall ships in our city every weekend for the rest of time. May there be air shows every day. It is so good for this city. I can't put it into words. And just the crowds, the thousands of people. My God, what a wonderful weekend it was for Baltimore. But is there any way we could think about it? Just think about maybe coordinating that around the baseball game a little bit. Just a little bit. All I'm asking for. Doesn't feel like I'm asking for too much. It also speaks to the fallacy that was, as it keeps saying, for as good as Kyle Bradish can be in certain circumstances, the fallacy of believing that you had an ace because you had Kyle Bradish was bunk. Which isn't a shot at Kyle Bradish. It's just trying to be realistic about what could have been reasonably expected from someone that had thrown 70 innings over the last 2 seasons. It was nonsense to talk about him in those terms. Nonsense. Which doesn't mean he's not capable of pitching like one. We know he has that type of talent. But an ace isn't someone who had a really good season 3 years ago. Now, I get it. Not everyone that looks like an ace continues to look like an ace the following year, but at least you have something to bet on. The Kyle Bradish thing is frustrating. It's frustrating because he was the guy that, like, of late, you just genuinely believed you could count on. At a time where there are so few of those on this roster. So few. Even the guys you would put at the highest on that list, you're doing with, like, kind of a wink and a nudge, right? Like, Blaze Alexander's been one of those guys, but you also know that could be
fall off it.
It could be Jeremiah Jackson from April, right? Like, and even then, right? Like, he gets thrown out at third base and prevents the run from scoring on Friday night, which is just so wildly unacceptable. I don't know how to explain it, and the fact that continues to happen to this team. To be clear, I know those with venom have their sights set on Mike Elias. I understand that, and I think it's probably warranted. But ask me if I think Craig Albernaz is a good manager.
Craig Albernaz.
There is
he a good manager?
Nothing that would suggest that. I mean, in a world where we weren't uber focused on Mike Elias, we would be discussing whether or not you fire Craig Albernaz. Brandon Hyde had 1,000,000 times more proof that he was actually a manager. And I'm not going to war for Brandon Hyde either. It's not, I mean, as you know, I think it was a mistake that they did it when they did it. I just didn't think it benefited them in any way. But there is nothing that suggests that Craig Albernaz is a good manager, which doesn't mean he can't be. I mean, he presumably will still get at least this season to figure that out. But all of it, every layer of it goes back to discussions that we've had. Why was it that you were going with a first-time manager? Why did that make sense, other than just that's how baseball works? And as you can tell, it's awesome in San Francisco. They're really that really proved to be a great idea.
Yeah. Jacob Calvin-Meyer shared a stat yesterday. There are now 2 teams in the entire league that have not won 4 games straight all season. Orioles and the Giants.
Yeah.
So.
Just think outside the box when you hire your manager, man. And I'm not. I got to think about how disappointing the Giants thing is. Like how good I felt about their roster coming into the year. Like I don't think I believe they were a title contender, but I definitely thought they should be better than this.
Like they had an ace on the team,
yeah,
and
pieces that
and Robbie Ray's pitching well too.
Yeah.
Like
and other pieces that you would want. Like I'm not trying to say that I think that they could have competed to go to the World Series, but I didn't think that of the Orioles either. But they definitely should. In both cases, they should definitely be better than this. And that's not me going war on Craig Albernaz. I'm not telling you he should be fired. I'm telling you that in another circumstance we would have that conversation. You just don't think you're supposed to do that because, well, you don't treat a first-year manager that way. Well, okay, except for there never had to be a first-year manager. It's like judging a kicker by, but he's a rookie, right? But who told you had to have a rookie? Where did I must have missed that chapter of the book. Who said when you're trying to win a Super Bowl, you're only allowed to have a rookie kicker or a kicker that you drafted? What am I missing here? It's the same thing when I said solve for kicker, not solve for Tyler Loop. It was solve for manager, not solve for Craig. Like it's that I keep coming back to that. Some of this, when that type of stuff happens, when now twice it's cost you runs because of run, and I'm not saying that I think Craig Albernaz is telling them to do that. And I get that the problem is probably bigger than that, although I know again this weekend Mike Elias said, I got nothing to do with lineups. Okay.
I believe him.
Sure. I mean, like in the world where I don't think you're writing the lineup card, you're right. You don't have to do that because we know how it works. Here's the information. Here's how we do things. We don't go on your gut. We go on the data that we have. Which isn't me going war on data. It's all a very complicated conversation. The other one from this weekend that we'll touch on briefly, then we'll catch up with Brad Brach, was obviously the roster move. And I get it. I get it. Jeremiah Jackson has wildly cooled off. Jeremiah Jackson, with Jackson Holiday back and wanting to have Blaze Alexander in the lineup significantly, there is a limited number of at-bats available for Jeremiah Jackson. By the way, Jackson Holiday hit a home run off a lefty yesterday. Can't even enjoy that because, the Orioles. I understand. Given a limited number of at-bats available to Jeremiah Jackson and the fact that Tyler O'Neill is under contract while Jeremiah Jackson had an option, it is understandable that this is the move that was made. And the other part of it is they are going to put Tyler O'Neill in the lineup against lefties. They're going to do it. I get it. I'm not giving it a rousing seal of approval, but I get it. I don't think it's embarrassing. I don't think it's laughable. I don't think it's any of those things that the Orioles sent Jeremiah Jackson down and Tyler O'Neill is still on the roster. I think Tyler O'Neill's performance is embarrassing and is unfortunately laughable. But I think we're conflating those things when we have this conversation. Given all of the circumstances, I get it. I'm not enthused. I'm not excited. I get it. I actually think the bigger problem, and one that maybe adds to the conversation that we've been having about Adley Rutschman and Samuel Basallo, is that the Orioles still feel the need to keep 3 catchers on the roster. I also know that Craig Albernaz has history with Chadwick Tromp and likes him. They were together in San Francisco. I don't like the idea of having a spot on your roster being taken by someone that you couldn't use as a pinch hitter. And I know that's complicated, right? Because in a normal world, this is kind of who your backup catcher is. Most teams don't have a backup catcher that is a real hitter or someone that you'd want to put in as a pinch hitter. They're there to be your backup catcher. So you're trying to think of it in a different way. Like, don't think of it as the third catcher. Think of him as the backup catcher. And Samuel Basallo is really...
Well, he's the first baseman, apparently.
Right, he was the first baseman yesterday. And if Kobe Mayo could throw the ball to first base, boy, that's frustrating because Kobe Mayo had looked better defensively at third base, but boy, the throws have been shaky. You can always look at it a certain way, but it is tough. It's tough to justify Chadwick Tromp being on the roster. And it's really about specific circumstances like the one in Anaheim where you would have to you're running the risk of, if Samuel Basallo is your DH, or specifically your DH, then you're in a bad spot. If Adley Rutschman were to get hurt, now you got to burn your DH for Basallo to go back and be the catcher. But yet you want to have them both in the lineup. It's a difficult conversation. And it maybe goes back to some people who just don't believe you can. It just doesn't make sense that in order to have both those guys out there, but it isn't, again, it's not as simplistic as that. If you get rid of one of them, presumably your backup, Adley Rutschman, if you trade him, presumably your backup catcher is not going to be, it's still going to be Chadwick Tromp. Creed Willems maybe at some point. I don't know. That's a tough conversation. But my opinion is I want to give you a hot take here. I want to tell you, God, it's embarrassing that they sent Jeremiah Jackson down and kept Tyler O'Neill, but I actually don't think that's true. I'm sorry. I can't help you out on that one. Stan the Fan, they're not going to be doing Monday this week. They're going to be doing a Tuesday show. Stan the Fan, Ross Grimsley, and Luke Jackson getting together tomorrow at 3:30, facebook.com/PressBoxSports. As always, Stan shows are brought to you by Warnken Law and the Costas Inn, with 2 great locations, the OG in Dundalk, the new one in Timonium. Let's talk a little bit more about these Orioles topics. We actually had to do this earlier because of his schedule, but a chance to catch up with our friend Brad Brach right here on GCR. And a pleasure, as always, to be joined by a former Orioles All-Star reliever. You know him as part of Birdland Territory, the Foul Territory Network. He is our friend Brad Brach, and he's with us now here on GCR. Brad, it's Glenn. It's great to catch up, as always. Thanks for taking the time for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, as always. It's always great getting to chat with you guys.
I really wish one of these times we'd be talking about a team that has just figured it out, that has just absolutely turned the corner, but that continues to not be the case. Brad, I guess let me start with the one that I feel like is kind of the big picture one that's facing this team, and that's Gunnar, right? Like, we heard the frustration from him after the game on Sunday. Early on in the year, we were like, well, at least he's hitting a home run, so he kind of dealt with it, but that's gone away. The defense has been shaky, save for a couple of plays. How do you explain what's going on with Gunnar, and is it as simple as, there's just a chance that any one of these days he could wake up and be Gunnar Henderson again?
Yeah, I think that's the belief, right? I think that's what everybody wants to think, is that, he is immensely talented, and one of these days it is going to turn around and click. And I think right now it's just kind of a culmination of just frustrations across the board. And I think maybe the offensive frustration is kind of leading into the field frustration. And I think it's kind of been a frustrating season for the whole team as a whole. And I think he shoulders a lot of that. I think he thinks if he's doing better, the team is going to do better. And I think that's kind of the truth. I just think if he was able to have the season he's expected, that the fans are expected, that his team would be in a better spot than they are right now. And unfortunately, it's kind of not there. He still has half the season to go, but it's just not the level of play I think fans have come to expect, and definitely what he expects of himself. So I think it's just kind of a culmination of a lot of that just all together, and it's just kind of like it's been a frustrating season. I think as a fan perspective, it's frustrating. Former player, there's just so much talent out there. It's just hard to watch the team not be consistent and consistently winning right now.
I was talking to Bordick last week, and he suggested, and Bordick's tough on him, but he suggested that he's convinced this team is so good that if they could just get Gunnar going, that might fix all of their offensive issues. And I sort of get the concept, right? Like the rising tide raises all ships, that he's the guy that you kind of take your cues from. He's supposed to be your MVP caliber player. Is it that simple that if Gunnar could just get going, that probably goes a long way to fixing all of their offensive issues?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously Bordick knows way more about the offensive stuff than I do, and he's been on some teams with, MVP caliber, Hall of Fame caliber players. So I think that is true. I think if he's able to pick his level of play up, I think it kind of makes everybody want to do better and get on base, and they know when he comes up to the plate, when he's hot, he really can carry a team. And Pete's really carrying the load right now. And just imagine if Gunnar's able to get on base. Pete's homers are 2 3-run homers as opposed to solo homers or 2-run homers. And I just think it would just raise the level of play of everybody. And it's just been, I feel like it's been so close so many times. And then you have a weekend like they just had, and it's where they are in the standings. It's 7 games under 500. And it's been frustrating. I think he's shouldering a lot of that, but I definitely see what Mike Bordick is saying, where I think if he's able to get his level of play where we expect it, this team really could go on a run. It's just, it hasn't been there yet, and you just have to wonder, is it going to happen at this point?
Brad, a lot of controversy. We talked about it earlier today. The Orioles needed to make roster moves to get Adley and Dylan Beavers back yesterday, and they decide to stick it with 3 catchers, and that's a complicated conversation, and maybe we'll revisit that in a second. But I think the one that has everyone frustrated is sticking it out with Tyler O'Neill while sending Jeremiah Jackson down. And it's tough for me because I get it with Jeremiah Jackson. Like, he was amazing late last season and to start this year. Absolutely incredible. But admittedly, he has struggled, and there's not as much playing time because you want Blaze Alexander in the lineup constantly. So I do kind of understand the decision. I just think the Tyler O'Neill part of it is the part that, like, fans find themselves saying, why are you so hell-bent on trying to prove that this works when it's not working? What do you make of the Orioles' decision to try to kind of force this with Tyler O'Neill when he just has not been what they thought he was going to be?
Yeah, it's being a former player, it's hard to, be super critical of guys, because I've been there. I've been in really big struggles, and it's really, I think for Tyler, it means a lot to him that the team is sticking by him at his side. But from a fan's perspective, and to kind of putting my media hat on now, it's hard to justify. And I think Jeremiah Jackson has earned himself a spot on this team, even though, he kind of has slowed here after that hot start. But I just think the at-bats aren't there. And I think if they do need him at one point. I think it is a good thing to get him down to AAA to get some more consistent at bats. But yeah, I mean, I get the Tyler O'Neill thing right now. He's facing lefties, I think, when a lefty starts, and it just hasn't happened. And I feel bad for him because he's a guy that wants to perform. When you get a contract like this, you want to perform, especially for the fan base, for the team, and it's just not happening at this point. So I don't know if it's going to continue. If it keeps going like this, maybe that is one of the next moves they make. But I think at this point they're just they feel handcuffed by the contract and justifying having him on the team. And I think it's kind of between a rock and a hard place. And Jeremiah Jackson probably didn't deserve to go down, but it's just one of those moves right now they feel like they had to make. And who knows, maybe Tyler O'Neill does find his power, but at this point it kind of just seems like it's just been a frustrating couple of years for him, and you just don't know if it's going to turn around at this point.
Brad Brach is with us here on GCR. Brad, I'll stay before I get to the pitching. Big picture conversation, I think, facing this team, and I know you guys are talking about it on Birdland Territory, is obviously the decisions that they have to make moving towards the trade deadline. And over the weekend, Mike Elias said, hey, if this is the spot we're in, then we're going to go for it. And then, of course, as soon as he did that, they lost 2 more games, and we'll see what spot they're in come August 3rd. But I feel like the bigger picture question that is perplexing is the question surrounding, do you consider trading Adley Rutschman? And it's so tough because I don't know that it really has anything to do with the situation that you're in right now as much as it has to do with if Adley Rutschman and his camp are telling you we're not signing an extension before we get to free agency, that's just the way it's going to be, then do you have to think about maximizing value? Do you have to think about the things that are not fun for baseball fans to think about, but obviously organizations have to think about? And I've been the one kind of discussing it, but when I do, I'm not rooting for it. I hope Adley Rutschman's an Oriole forever, much like Mike Elias said on Saturday. But if he's not, and I get it, like most players that are this close, you don't want to negotiate with one team. You want to negotiate with all of the teams. If that's the case, I do think it's a warranted conversation to discuss whether or not you do it now instead of potentially revisiting it next July if there even is a baseball season, and now you're looking to trade him as a rental piece.
Yeah, I think it's a complicated equation right now because yes, technically they are in it in the American League because the play has been so subpar. So they are only a couple games out. To me, it's like you're saying, you have to have a bigger picture kind of mentality with this. And if Adley and his team are kind of adamant on not signing long term, I think if you get something that makes sense for next year's team and moving forward, I just feel like you might have to consider it, as much as that hurts to even say or even think of as an Oriole fan, because like you said, it's one of those players you were hoping was going to be an Oriole for a lifetime, but it's just getting complicated at this point. It's their window of him being on the team and under team control is kind of coming to a close here. And it's unthinkable that they weren't going to be in the playoffs year after year at this point, but it just hasn't seemed to work out. I feel like if you have something that can help you for the next 5 years or 7 years or something along those lines, it might be something to consider. It's getting to the point of the season where I just feel like maybe punting to next year is something they have to really truly consider. And it hurts to say that as somebody that wants to see them do well this year and someone who thinks they can do well and could make a run if they got hot. I'm not seeing enough consistency to think that it's going to turn around this year. And do you mortgage possibly losing Adley and not getting enough return next year if it doesn't work out? And it's a very complicated equation, scenario, however you want to put it. And it's just, I hate it for Oriole fans because when they won the division in 2023, I'm thinking this is going to be a run of 4, 5, 6 years where this team is going to have a chance to win a World Series every single year. And it's tough to see. And I feel really bad for just the fan base and the guys on the team because they want to do well. And I think they know they have the talent. It's just for whatever reason, like watching it, it's just something's just not adding up. And it doesn't make sense for my eyes as a former player watching it that it isn't adding up. But it's like you're saying, it's just a complicated scenario that I think they really need to consider here in the next 5 weeks.
I think there's another layer to it, Brad, where like I brought up they're going to hold 3 catchers for now. And I just wonder, like, can you – I get why they want to do that. They want both Adley Rutschman and Samuel Basayo to be in the lineup as much as they possibly can. And if you're doing that, then you feel like you do need to have another catcher on the roster. Something we talked about coming into the year, like what if you have a scenario like the crazy thing that we saw in, LA, where now you got to burn your DH because the only guy that's available. Like, I understand why you want to keep it, but can teams afford to be keeping 3 catchers on the roster and have a roster spot held by someone who barely plays, who you definitely don't want to use as a pinch hitter, not with no disrespect to Chadwick Trump, right, who did have a hit over the weekend? Like, can you afford to construct your roster giving away a spot to someone who's just a third catcher?
Yeah, I just think it's gotten to the point where every game is so critical that I feel like you're just handcuffed, and it is unfortunate that Chadwick Trump kind of is in that spot. I played with him in AAA my last season when I was with the Braves, and love him. He's a great guy to have around.
Yeah.
And he's a good player. It's just I get what you're saying when it comes to roster construction, that you want to have both Adley and Samuel Basallo in the lineup every single day. So it's just like I feel like they need to have that as a handcuff, and it's just kind of at this point it's like I feel like you need to have the best 9 hitters in the lineup every single day. The offense has been so inconsistent that you need to have those guys in there, and hopefully something can spark here in the next couple of weeks, because every game right now to me just seems so critical to win that it just makes it tough to not have your best 26 guys that you feel like can make you win every single day, regardless of where it puts you tomorrow. It just has gotten to that point, and unfortunately they've kind of put themselves in that spot that you need to have the best 26 guys every single day. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the roster construction here in the next couple of weeks, because it's just such a critical spot in the season right now.
Brad, I want to run one by you pitching wise. I'm trying not to overreact to Kyle Bradish yesterday, right? Like, I'm trying to do everything in my power to say, hey, he was so good for 2 starts, but I get that it's weird that it's kind of an on-again, off-again thing with Kyle Bradish, and you really want him to be that ace type of guy, and you see it in moments. So it's sort of a twofold. It's a bigger, what do you make of it being so inconsistent, and is there any chance, and maybe I'm out in left field, but is there any chance that what happened yesterday might have something to do with everything going on with the air show and the starts and the stops, and sometimes the umpire is pausing the game? Like, I'm watching it. I just wonder, like, what that – obviously it didn't affect the other side all that much. Like, I understand that, but is it possible that had something to do with what we saw from Kyle Bradish yesterday?
I think it very well could have been. I mean, I think starters are so routine-driven that I think a lot of times little things can frustrate them. And he showed signs of frustration yesterday. I feel like with him, I would take it as a one-off. I think he was so good the outings before, and we kind of talked about it on our podcast yesterday. I just think it's getting to the point where fatigue might be setting in. Whether he says that or not, I just feel like without pitching for basically 2 years, he threw about 50 innings last year. I think you hit a wall at some point, and I think he'll get over the wall here. And I don't think yesterday, I think you just kind of toss it out and see where it goes from here. But I just feel like when I've heard guys talk about coming back from Tommy John and injuries where they miss significant time, a lot of times it's like a mental hurdle. You might feel something that's not actually there. You might be thinking something that's not actually happening. And I've heard that's been the biggest hurdle for most guys, is getting over that mental part of I'm not going to get hurt or I'm not going to be injured. And I just think he's getting close to 100 innings here. That's a lot of innings for a guy who only threw 50 last year. So I just feel like at this point, it's kind of one of those things where it's just a mental and a physical fatigue that might be setting in here. A lot of guys see the All-Star break coming up, and it's just kind of like, you almost want to get to the All-Star break, but there's so many big games here. But I could definitely see with the air show yesterday. I remember in, I think it was 2014, we had the air show too. And it was, I mean, those loud stops and starts, and you never know when the planes are going to go over. It could be in the middle of a pitch. It could be, in the middle of an inning. It's just kind of a weird spot to be there. And I think with a starter and Kyle Bradish, who knows and works so efficiently when he is good, I think stuff like that could definitely mess you up. And those starts and stops. And I mean, look at the first 2 innings. He cruised through the first two, and then he kind of he looked frustrated when he was missing his breaking balls, trying to throw for strikes. And on the 3-2 breaking balls he's thrown in the dirt, he really showed some frustration. So it could have been a combination of a lot of that. And I think when he had those 2 starts in a row, you're thinking, man, I'm going to go on a run here. And then you kind of run into a bump in the road. And I think there's just a lot of factors into it, but I could definitely see the air show being part of it.
It's the coolest thing in the world, right? Like, we're so glad to have it in Baltimore. It's so cool, except for
when it's in the middle of a big pitch or a big inning, it's frustrating. I know.
It's so tough because, like, it's such a good thing for our city, and like downtown was packed this weekend, and it was wonderful, and it gives you goosebumps when you see it, and then you're like, right, but is there any way we could schedule it around the baseball game?
I know. Just come in the middle of the innings, or like, when they're out there pitching, not when the Orioles are on that. I totally get that. Like I said, it really was so cool in 2014 when they were doing the Star Spangled Banner ceremony.
And the
ships were in town. It was the best. I mean, the downtown was buzzing like I had never seen it until we got to the playoffs. I'd never seen it like that, and it was just a great time on the weekend. It's just, you wish it had better results, and you wish they just did it when the Nationals were in the field. That
would be really ideal. I don't know who we have to coordinate with, that if we're going to keep doing this, we just need to figure out a timing that, somebody how do we get it in the plane? I know we don't want them distracted, but how do we get it in the plane so they know, hey, the Nationals are up, now's the time. Go ahead and buzz over the stadium right now.
Let's have the pilots ready for let's have 9 flyovers, but let's have it in between the innings, every inning. Just have them sitting on go, ready to go, and okay, now get over the stadium. That would be ideal. Definitely.
We got to work on that. Brad, I know you guys did an episode yesterday. When's the next one?
We got one today, and it's actually going to be really good. Jim Callis is coming on. We're going to talk about the draft and just kind of get his perspective. He's, an unreal mind when it comes to amateurs and the draft, and be a really cool episode and kind of shake things up a little bit, just to, get away from the everyday talking of the Orioles. It'd be great to see his perspective on the draft coming up and see what the Orioles could get to help them in the future moving forward.
Brad, Tim Barbalace, and Steve Molesky on Birdland Territory, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. Brad Brach, always appreciate you, brother. Thank you for taking the time for us. Let's talk again real soon, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me, as always.
Yeah, thanks to Brad for taking the time for us. And as you can tell, it sounds very fait accompli from Brad. Very much like we know and I get it, right? Like, at this point, how do you feel anything other than that? Why would this be the week where suddenly the Orioles would roll off a 10-game win streak? Other than, of course, the fact that Griffin and I are leaving, and we would then have something pleasant to talk about. So they wouldn't want us to if there was ever a time to do it, it would, of course, be that would be the time. But short of that, why would you think that?
Well, because it's the White Sox, and they stink.
They do not.
Oh, they don't? They're good?
They do not.
They're good now?
The funny thing about that is not the case.
We swept them earlier this year.
I hear you. I am less confident in that occurring.
Murakami's hurt.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
oh, I didn't know
He's been hurt.
I traded.
Really? I thought we talked about it. I traded for him.
Of course you did.
He got hurt. He pulled his hamstring 2 days later.
Old kiss of death. That's the only reason I think the Orioles have a chance, is the kiss of death. We've had to talk about all the miserable stuff. Now when there's something pleasant to talk about.
I'll do my job. I'll add all the White Sox in fantasy.
There you go, please.
Although a lot of them are owned already.
In fact, if your season's over, do that for every series the rest of the way. Can we take a break?
Yes.
All right.
Let's do that.
We'll come back in. We'll talk some World Cup. Ian Nicholas Quillen of Field Level Media and Forbes and Deadspin, among other places. He's been traveling around covering the World Cup the last couple of weeks. We'll get his thoughts next ahead of the U.S. playing Bosnia in the round of 32. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, When you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
The stars are shining brighter at Live Casino this summer. Celebrate America's 250th with $1 million. Earn entries daily July 1st through August 29th and snap a pic with our game board for a chance to win $100 in free play every week. We'll draw 50 free play winners each Saturday and $1 million winner on August 29th. Light it up at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Dave LaMonaco profiles Orioles play-by-play voice Kevin Brown, looking at his rise as an amiable mainstay and one of the top voices in all of baseball. Also inside, Antonio Barbera looks at whether the championship window is narrowing for the Ravens veteran core, and our special travel section with a look at sports tourism options throughout Maryland for you and your family to enjoy this summer. Press Box is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
Going to talk some World Cup here in just a second. Should remind you that there is nowhere better to watch the round of 32 matchup than at Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel. Join us on Wednesday, July 1st, as Team USA takes the field. Win your share of $2,000 in cash and prizes throughout the match, including a $500 number one fan competition. Show up in your best Team USA gear for a chance to be crowned that number one fan and take home $500 in cash. Watch every minute of the action on the massive 100-foot media wall while enjoying game day food and drink specials in the ultimate soccer watch party atmosphere. Reserve your table today through Open Table, and I assure you these tables are going to fill up before Wednesday night. Don't miss the biggest Team USA watch party around at Sports and Social on Wednesday, July 1st. At Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. Let's talk about that matchup and everything else in the round of 32 at the World Cup. Joining us now, he has been traveling around. I know he's in Foxborough today to see the Germans. He's covering for Field Level Media as well as Forbes and Deadspin, among others. He's our friend Ian Nicholas Quillen, and he's back with us now here on GCR. Ian, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Of course, happy to be here.
32, now 31 teams remaining in the World Cup. How many of these 31 teams could end up hoisting the trophy here in a couple of weeks, Ian?
Well, I mean, you know what we talked about last time I was on, that a long shot will definitely do it. So it's definitely more than 7 or 8. It's probably more like, similar to an NCAA tournament, you probably look like 12 or 14 teams that if everything went right, they could do it. Probably 6 or 7 have much stronger chances than others. But I think it's, especially with, the added round and the fact that so many of these matches, go to extra time and eventually penalties, which is basically a coin flip. Like, I think it's, extremely, I think it's more open than people think.
We're at this point, it feels like everybody's just scoring in stoppage time. Like, it just feels like that's the bit now, is that you just get all the goals between 90 and 98 or whatever it ends up being. Ian,
let me tell you this: writers love that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, hang on. You say that, but like the match is going to end in the knockout rounds. You can't be writing your story like yesterday. They couldn't be writing a story. It was 0-0 at that point.
No, of course, but of course you just, was, and it's funny you mentioned that. I was helping out with a live blog, and I was ready to just put 50 words up about, nope, nothing decided. We're going to go to extra time. And then of course, Steven Eustachio comes through and all of a sudden everything changes.
Is the U.S. one of those 11 or 12 teams?
I think so. Okay. I'm not saying, I mean, they're toward the bottom of that list. They're not, they're not on par with a Spain or a France or an Argentina or a Brazil, but they're, if everything goes right, home field advantage, it's possible. It's not, again, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not stupid, as I've said before, to think about it.
Is there anything to be said about what happened is Thursday as simple as this was an exhibition? It wasn't, most of the guys are going to be out there. We know that a few, Pulisic in the second half, Weston McKennie for the better part of the match. Is it utterly dismissible, or is there some concern that you take from that?
I mean, the only concern I have is not something that it's not represented so much by the result, but just by the continuing pattern is this team can't keep clean sheets. And you're going to have to do that at some point to win a game in the knockout phase, but that's not necessarily whether they won or lost. It's just that they keep giving up goals. So I don't know that the performance in itself is a concern, but it does show that, the depth in defense in particular is kind of shaky.
I'm hoping that it means that you don't have to have Scally on the pitch at any point, with all due respect. I just think that maybe is the lesson that I take, is that hopefully he's not playing a significant minute between now and whenever this ends.
I think that's fair, although I will be honest, that day was a very long day for me, and I fell asleep at halftime, which I've never done at a in a U.S. World Cup game before.
Oh, boy. Let me stay on the U.S. for a minute, just in general, Ian. The performances have, at least offensively, been very good, to your point. They have scored lots of goals. How much of that is about the U.S.? How much of that is about the teams that they have played to this point?
I think it's pretty 50-50. Under Berhalter, they certainly did not generate the amount of chances that their possession and that the positions they got in should have merited. I think it certainly is a Pochettino specialty to be able to generate chances and to have teams that are forward thinking. I think it's not just opponents, it's game states, right? So for example, that Paraguay game could have gone much differently if they don't get the first goal early. That Australia game could have gone much differently if they don't get the first goal early. But, it's similar to like a football team that likes to keep it on the ground. If they get down by 2 touchdowns, all of a sudden they're in a lot of trouble. And that's what Paraguay and Australia found themselves in.
Is there, you bring up obviously the inability to keep a clean sheet. That, as we point out, those aren't the guys that are going to be out there. But in general, how concerned are you about their defense, their back end? Look, Chris Richards has been phenomenal. I think Alex Freeman has been even better than we could have expected, given his youth and experience coming into the tournament. But between that and what's in goal, I feel like it's reasonable to be very concerned about the defense and the goalkeeping when you're facing the best teams in the world.
I mean, at this point, you can't do anything to fix it, right? Like, you can be concerned, but there's not any adjustments you can really make. You just basically have to hope that, I think the big thing is it's depth in defense, right? Like, the U.S. doesn't have a replacement for a Chris Richards that can give you even 80% of what he gives. They don't have a replacement for Tyler Adams that can give you even 80% of what he gives in defensive midfield. So I think, if I'm a manager, the one thing I'm really, really focusing on is keeping those guys as healthy and as wear-free as possible on the days that they're not playing, because you don't have much defensive depth.
It's interesting. That's a really good point. He is Ian Nicholas Quillen, and he is with us here on GCR, live from Foxborough, getting ready for another knockout round matchup later this afternoon. Ian, who has most looked the part to you so far in this tournament? Like, who, again, just through the 3 group stage matches and acknowledging that some of these groups have not maybe been the groups of death that we've experienced in the past because of the expansion to 48, but who has most to you looked the part of, oh, that's a team that's going to go win the World Cup?
I think for me it's France and Brazil. I've seen both of those teams in person twice. which is kind of weird. With France, one of the things that I think is really underrated in this tournament is for as many expectations as are on them, they sort of don't have a lot of pressure. Didier Deschamps is done, no matter how this tournament goes. This is the end for him. He's been there almost 16 years.
Yeah.
So, and the amount of quality they have on the pitch, I mean, they definitely have the most talented roster. I don't think anybody argues that. They from 1 to 26, they have the most talent. And they've got, I think Mbappe has kind of come to this World Cup intent on improving that he's not the problem at Real Madrid as much as people want to make him the problem. So when you have a superstar who is in the prime of his career, who's also very motivated, that's an extremely dangerous quality. With Brazil, what I was really impressed about, particularly in their match against Scotland, is you always think of Brazil as being the free-flowing attacking team, but they are so athletic, and they can actually really get after it defensively under Carlo Ancelotti. They don't have the most talent technically compared to even a Spain or an Argentina, but I'm just really impressed with how they work for that manager, and they've also got something to prove.
What about the other side? Like, who's the team that maybe we thought was a legitimate contender coming in, that to you has looked the most fraudulent and you have the most questions about going into the knockout round?
I don't know that I've had anything that changed between the group stage and the knockout round. I think it's pretty clear a side like Croatia has passed its peak, even though they looked good in their finale.
Specifically Luka Modric.
Yeah.
I mean, he just I didn't want to believe it after the first one, but then I'm like, oh my God, man. It's sad because it's Luka Modric you're talking about.
And they could win a game or two, but their window is closed, and that's okay. England is still England, and just that the amount of pressure they put on themselves and that nation puts on themselves seems to limit everything they ever try to do. The talent is obviously there, but I think it was almost a curse in disguise to start as well as they did, and everybody sort of think, oh wow, this is going to be a different England team, and then of course they struggle through a 0-0 draw against Ghana that they probably should have lost because there was a penalty that did not go called there. And then, Panama, who I have a lot of respect for, made things extremely difficult on them in their group finale. Argentina is interesting to me because there's some medium groups and some poor groups, but they really got an easy draw. So I just wonder what happens when they face somebody who can actually sort of physically give them problems.
Let's go to the other side of, is there a team that you wouldn't have thought of necessarily as a title contender that after watching them, Bruce Murray was trying to sell me on Japan maybe as being this team, someone that you are buying into more, not just that they're playing well, not that hey, Cabo Verde is a great story, but that legitimately is proving to be a potential contender to get all the way to the final.
Japan's really interesting. They play such a different style from what the way that they can keep the ball and keep possession is almost it's like East Asia's version of Spain. It's incredible. That said, I think they're going to have problems when you get to sort of the latter stage dark arts centric portion of the tournament. I don't know that favors them very well. I'm curious to see whether they get past Brazil. I think that's a particularly tough match for them. It sounds weird to be calling them a dark horse because they've won the thing 4 times, but Germany's just Germany, man. They don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
That Ecuador thing aside, they were playing for nothing. They already had the group wrapped up. Ecuador was playing for its tournament life. They don't screw up, they don't, and that's so much of short tournament success is not beating yourself.
I agree. By the way, the Ecuador thing might have been, I was emotional watching it. It was just so, I'm torn. I've actually had this conversation a few times during the Cup. I hated the 48 team thing until watching it and saying, I think it's been great for getting more countries fired up, allowing the superstars to look more like superstars against lesser.
That's a great point.
And getting that gives broader excitement to the World Cup, because now it's not even necessarily about your country. It's just about seeing all of the superstars shine when maybe people haven't been paying attention to the sport. I hate now. I get it that it turns into we've had more of these like third group stage matches where a team just doesn't care whatsoever, and like I get that there's complications to it, but I have actually sold myself on no, the 48 team thing is working, and it's probably good for the sport and for the World Cup on the whole.
Well, and if you really want to get into the weeds, there's ways that you could do a 48 team tournament that would be a little more competitive if you switched what is currently the group phase to more of a league phase, the way the Champions League does. You could certainly have 48 teams and take 24 instead of 32, or take 16 instead of 32, or however you wanted to do it. There's ways to tweak this thing that I think could make it even more compelling while being more accessible.
I think 16 is too few. Like that's what jumps out at me, is that's too few. But I think that you're right.
I personally like 24, and the idea that also that if you get that break, that your cards also wipe out for the teams that get a bye.
Okay, so that sort of counts as a bonus match. I like that. Then you actually have a real reason to go for it, even if you've already
exactly.
I like the thought on that. I think that's good. I'll go back to the U.S. just for a second, because I think everybody's almost like assuming that they're going to get past Bosnia and that it'll be Belgium in the round of 16. So let's go twofold on this. One, like, is it a certainty that they get past? And certainty is the wrong word, because nothing's a certainty. But is it that likely, overwhelmingly likely, that they get past Bosnia? And then, like,
well,
okay, start there, and then we'll talk about Belgium.
Well, I think it's certainly an ideal team to play when your questions are on defense.
Okay.
Bosnia offers very little going forward. They don't scare me. They did score against Canada, but I'm not, if the USA goes out against Bosnia, it won't be because they got outscored. It's because they couldn't find a goal and then they lost on penalties.
And that stuff, that can happen. That's the way the sport works.
Right.
If it does end up being Belgium, and I acknowledge they also have to get past Senegal, like, where are we with the disappointment of Belgium? Like, how I still have, like, I've never gotten over 2014, and I think about Chris Wondolowski way too much in my life. Like, it is kept a space in my brain that it is not deserved, Ian, for someone who, is not even, I'm not even like a soccer all the time person, you know what I mean? Like, I have thought about it constantly. I think of Belgium as a legit power. They have let me down. I had them in our pool, and they have been a disaster. At this point, like, would you favor the U.S. against Belgium, or is that going too far if that's where we end up?
I would put it as pretty much a pick 'em. Yeah. I think. I don't think I'd favor them, but I wouldn't call them an underdog either. A lot of the faces on that Belgium team are kind of old, and home field matters a lot. And Belgium isn't a team that's going to draw an enormous amount of fans to counter the U.S. fan influence you're going to have there as well. And then 1 through 11, I don't think there's a ton of difference. I think on a neutral field, you'd favor Belgium, but when you factor in the home crowd, I think I'd call it a pick 'em.
Wow.
Belgium's weird, man. Like, it's almost like that, they beat us and we can't stop thinking about Chris Wondolowski. But if you ask a Belgian fan, the last 10, 12 years have just been sheer misery, and it almost becomes self-fulfilling at some point. To be honest, I'm not that sure they get past Senegal. I think Senegal could give them a lot of problems.
Wow. That is.
I think they should be favored, but I think Senegal could give them a lot of problems, and especially a team that, sort of wasn't sure if they were going to get through, and then had that last life and put a bunch of goals past Iraq to suddenly, have some confidence. I wouldn't want to be the Belgians right now.
That's wild. That is wild. All right, Ian, where are folks following you? Where are they seeing your work? Give me the whole rundown.
So lots of stuff on Field Level Media on the website. I do a ton of their World Cup content. Also, that stuff ends up on AOL sometimes. On Deadspin, I'm doing some World Cup betting content, rooting for Vinicius Jr. to score the first goal today. He is very good early in games, which I've seen. And Also, Forbes.com. Follow me on Twitter at Yak Diesel, which is like Shaq, except it's an I instead of an SH. On Twitter or X or whatever you call it. And and occasionally my stuff is showing up on Reuters on their wire too. So.
Excellent. Ian, always appreciate you, man. I'm going to be away for a little bit, but hopefully before this is all said and done, I'll be able to get you back in here. Thank you for taking the time.
We've still got 3 weeks.
It is, and hopefully, what I'm really rooting for is a crazy scenario where I go away for 2 weeks and somehow the U.S. is still alive when I come back.
Feel free to dream. Feel free to dream.
And I'll breathe it in. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for doing it.
Have a good one, guys.
Ian Nicholas Quillen with us here once again on GCR talking some World Cup. Did you see this? Dave Ricklin says, Cluck you coming back now. Montgomery County, which doesn't do a lot for me. Dave, I appreciate this news, but it's not like they're reopening the one in Towson, which if they did that, we might broadcast live. We might do that. But apparently, Cluck you coming back to Mocha. Where's it going? Where's it going to be? Does it say?
I don't know. I was going to share it with everybody. So
well, I don't care what they. I mean, this is about us.
Okay,
this isn't really about them. You trying to
share? Cluck you returning to Moco, obviously. Rockville.
Okay, all right.
Cluckster's location for Rockville.
Yo, it closed in 2009. The one in College Park's been closed for a very long. I didn't realize it was that.
There you
long.
go. It's on Frederick Road. There you go.
Damn.
Taking over the former Panita Thai.
I don't know. I'm not familiar. I'm probably not going to be spending a lot of time in Rockville. Like, I don't think suddenly, like, DC 101's going to hire me.
Why not? Why wouldn't they?
They should. I think we can all agree with that. I bumped into, where was I recently? I bumped into Mike Jones from DC 101. I was at, actually, I saw him like on literally like almost consecutive weekends. I saw him at the Let's Go Music Festival, and I saw him at WWE Monday Night Raw. We were seated basically next to each other.
Wow. Both on Celebrity Row, I guess.
Yes, exactly right. They had Celebrity Row. It was us and Mariska Hargitay. That was what it looked like at Raw. And Eric Andre, who actually was at Monday Night Raw in Baltimore. I don't think I used to be down there a good bit before. Back when I don't even know who owned 980 at the time, but when our friend Aaron Oster worked at 980, I would jump in, do some stuff down there every now and then. Then they ended up selling 980 to CBS or whatever that's called, Odyssey. Is that what it's? It's Odyssey still, right?
Yeah,
Odyssey. And so they moved out of Rockville, so I don't really have any. I think DC 101 is still in Rockville, if I remember correctly. So if at any point I end up employed by DC 101, then I would have a reason. But short of that, I just not spending a ton of time. There was a Chick-fil-A on that corridor in Rockville that I swear to God was the busiest. I think the Nottingham Square, he always tells me it's like one of the highest billing Chick-fil-A's on the East Coast.
Really? Then
What's right off 95.
Okay.
Like it's I get why it works, right? Like, and that's one of those if you're like a trucker, you look when you're approaching White Marsh and you see it's almost like having a Buc-ee's, you know what I mean? Like you just see so much. You see the iFly thing, you see like the mall, like there's so much to see that you say, maybe I'll get off here. Maybe this looks like a good spot for me to get off. So there being a Chick-fil-A right there, it's logical that they get tons of commuter traffic or like people just passing through.
That's fair.
But I'm telling you, that one in Rockville, like right down the street from DC 101, that one was always a mob scene whenever I would stop there. So Cluck You makes a lot of sense there, but I need one here. I need that to happen at some point. Maybe we open it? Do we franchise?
We just buy our own.
You know,
we start our own Cluck You.
We could maybe do the show from.
Yeah, we start doing.
We gotta think about this. We gotta think about the play.
I guess. I mean, I don't have the
Towson,
relationship of.
Is that still the place to be?
I think so. Yeah.
Is Towson the? Do we want to be, or now that they have like a Canes, do we need
well,
to get
maybe we got to find a way to overtake.
Oh, you want to create like a turf war?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm interested.
And we gotta just take down Canes.
To play. I've got no beef. I've got no chicken with Canes. I've got no concern there. No beef. John, what do you think about franchising a Cluck You chicken? That's the next step for the business. What do you think about who didn't love Cluck You chicken? Apparently, Dave Ricklin tells me they're putting one back in Rockville. So what if we brought one back to Towson? Huh? What do you think?
Right there on.
We could maybe do a live podcast studio there.
Yeah. That works perfect.
Let's have a conversation about this. I want to.
Let's do it at the Costas Inn.
We do love the Costas Inn. No, don't get me wrong.
Well, we'd still do something.
These are different. Yeah. They do different things. This is not direct competition between Cluck-U and the Costas Inn.
You can only be in one place broadcasting.
You want to talk to the thing?
Oh, you want to? Do you think we should do live shows from Costas? I'm down to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we still need to have Kyle broadcast do his thing. Oh, I got to talk to them. we're doing like a 24 hours in Costas Inn thing.
Oh, what?
That was a payment for a past bet.
Okay.
A past lost bet was we're going to do a 24 hours at Costas thing, and we're
so
going to.
What does that mean?
You've never seen this?
We're
going
to go punish him.
People do like 24 hours at the Waffle House if you lose your fantasy league.
Oh.
So there's things that you can do in order to have time taken off, how much time you spend at the Waffle House. But normally it's how much you eat. We don't want to reward.
That's like a gift.
Yeah, that's
Kyle.
a gift, 100%. So what we want to do is he can have an hour taken off if he mops the floors or if he does the dishes or something like that's what we want to do in the 24 hours, and I just haven't had a chance to talk to Pete and Nick about all the details. They were very oh yeah, we'll do so, but
that's what they say about everything.
I haven't hammered down the details yet.
Please
we are definitely going to do a 24 hours.
Please keep me in touch on that.
Costas Inn.
Oh, Kyle's going to be so stubborn that he's going to be he's just not going to do anything.
Kyle's just an asshole.
And he's going
to we love him.
And he's just going to sit there for 24 hours.
100%. But he's just going to.
And he'll probably buy food.
You're right.
He'll assume that they'll. And this is the problem. Pete and Nick will ultimately be like, we'll provide
we got
him.
you.
Yeah, 100% because of the nicest human beings on the face of the planet, which is why it's a mistake and why we can't have food be involved with this whatsoever. There can be no food.
Or we can taint it, right?
We, like the rest of us, can come. We can do a broadcast and we can eat in front of him.
So we're going to eat crab cakes in front of him?
Yes.
Okay.
We can do that. But Kyle can only do chores.
Should we just tie him to a chair and just?
Yeah, he's 100. No, because he's got a mom.
It just went a little creepy.
No, well, I mean,
I want him to watch us eat that crab.
It's Griffin's birthday. He's allowed to.
Happy birthday,
whatever he's thinking about.
Yep, me and Gunnar.
Are you batting 112?
No, I'm batting a little better than that actually.
Are you though?
Yeah, I got to hit off one of the best pitchers in the league yesterday.
Look at you.
So I feel pretty good.
Jose Siriano?
No. Well, Wyatt Freeman.
Oh, that guy's people are talking about him.
He's yeah.
So
that was hard.
So yeah, we still do that. I'm in favor of doing live shows from Costas Inn, but we can have. It was like when you guys used to have the studio at ESPN Zone all those years ago.
Right.
They didn't go every day.
Correct.
It was special events.
Yeah.
We franchise a Cluck-U. We bring it back.
All this
Immediately, we're heroes. We're heroes if we brought back Cluck-U. Immediately.
Who's funding this, out of curiosity?
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Press box.
We'll do that.
We'll have a conversation.
Can I have another brief conversation with you guys about something?
Brief. I got a
very brief. I mean,
I got time.
I had a really nice party on Saturday, and neither of you could see your way to come.
I'm sorry. I'm so. First of all, look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. As I told you, we had the child's birthday party.
What's his excuse?
You got to talk to him about that.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, we had the.
It was my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
What better way to do that than free
You're
food
right,
and drink?
You're right. Well, and then it was supposed to rain, and
it didn't.
Yeah, I know it didn't.
You know what my favorite part?
We had 92 people show up, which was a little more than we had hoped.
Maybe it was better that we didn't make it.
In a condo.
You know what's nice about doing the child's
birthday? So you
birthday?
didn't need me there.
This is not a sponsor. We did the child's birthday at Dave & Buster's.
Oh, wow.
You know my favorite part about that part is when she walks to the side to settle up the tab. Because she doesn't want me to know. She has no interest in me finding out how much that birthday
And did you
party
leave
cost.
with as many kids as you went with?
I don't know. Not my concern. We got ours. There might still be others at the Dave & Buster's.
Which Dave & Buster's was it?
The one over here.
The one, Good Lord, that place. I don't miss those birthday parties. Frankly, I don't. Kids running.
See, if you do it right though, you can make all your money back at Dave & Buster's.
No, you can't make all your money back. You
win the games.
Some terrible prizes. This is my dumbass kid. My dumbass kid always. They give him a card, right? They're like, here, it's got hundreds of points on it. Now go try to win some tickets. And of course, he goes and plays all of the games that don't have tickets, inevitably. And so
then he gets upset.
Then he does. So
economics lesson.
Knowing that's going to occur, I then go out, and I'm the weird old guy wandering around by himself playing the Jurassic Park game, where I know that I can hit the little dot, so
and
I can get
pop a shot.
400. Yeah. Oh, we got to have a conversation with the Dave & Buster's folks. They've rigged the football game. They've rigged. I have spent my life setting new high scores on the football game because I know how to beat it. They have figured that out, and they have now. There's only 4 footballs available in the football game, and they have the conveyor belt moving. They've slowed down the conveyor belt so you don't get enough footballs. I'm on to you.
So we're not doing a show at Dave & Buster's anytime soon.
Until they fix the football game. Okay. When they fix the football game, we can do business. We can talk. But until then,
I've mentioned I'm the South Baltimore cornhole champion, right?
That's right.
Okay, just making sure.
This doesn't help us in any way until we hold that tournament at Cluck U once we've.
That's true. Yeah, we host it
once we franchise it. Thank you, John Colson.
Okay,
appreciate
guys,
all your
thank you.
contributions. I don't think he's actually going to do it.
Why? What?
He
seemed really into it.
I think he's full of shit. I think he's just saying that.
I think he was really into it.
I think he wants someone else to be the one.
Everybody
likes Cluck U. Everyone likes Cluck U. I went right from Cluck U in College Park to working at the radio station when it was in Towson, and there was a Cluck U right down the street.
Is there one that's currently
Best years
open?
of my life. I don't know if there are any. Those are the only 2 Cluck Us that I ever knew that existed. I think the bit
what
was they were supposed
they
to
just
be
have
on
chicken?
college. They just have chicken. It's just chicken place. That's all it is. It's a religious.
Well, I'm trying to.
You don't know about Cluck U, Pac.
There's
one. You don't know about that guy.
There's one in Odenton and there's one in Lanham.
Terrible idea locations for a Cluck U.
It's actually not even near Odenton. It's closer to Severn than Odenton.
All right. Well, maybe when I'm down at the Spalding sometime, I'll pop in. All right, we'll come back in. We'll go up 3 up and 3 down because we're still doing that charade. And then
are we going to not do it anymore when we get back?
I mean, what is the point? And then we'll get a ticket.
I guess we have to. We're doing it over.
I don't know that
you're not able to watch. I'll just do mine.
I'm definitely not going to be able to watch, so I will be reacting to nothing other than stats. I might do it. Oh, we still have to make sure that you can get access to my Facebook.
Oh, right.
Too.
Okay.
We still have to do that.
Yeah.
And there is no guarantee that they're going to win a game before I'm gone. No guarantee of that. All right. Tidbit. 3 up, 3 down. Tidbit tubular next.
The stars are shining brighter at Live Casino this summer. Celebrate America's 250th with $1 million. Earn entries daily July 1st through August 29th and snap a pic with our game board for a chance to win $100 in free play every week. We'll draw 50 free play winners each Saturday and $1 million winner on August 29th. Light it up at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnken. If you've been injured in Maryland, you know you need a great lawyer. Look no further than us, Warnken LLC. You've seen my picture on billboards around town. You've seen me on TV. Now I'm lucky enough to get to be here with Stan. Please give us a call. 443-RESULTS. It is not just a phone number, it's a mission. 443-RESULTS. Or visit us online at warnkenlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
Griffin's doing a deep dive on Wimbledon coverage. I looked up at the TV and I was like,
I'm bored. I don't know.
Yannick Sinner.
I don't care about the baseball
Yannick
team.
Sinner pushed to 5, by the way, by Kekmanovic, but he did win.
Yeah, who the heck was that guy?
Kekmanovic, he's a veteran. I mean, he's been around for a while. He's wily. Like, this type
He's
of thing
the
that he
Serbian
can do.
Sam Querrey.
Yeah, okay. I'll listen on that. I'll listen. But Sinner does ultimately win. The big one is tomorrow. That's TFO, obviously, plays his first round tomorrow, but also Serena Williams will play singles at Wimbledon tomorrow. I've gone on record. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
You don't like that she
can't win. She can't.
So why shouldn't she play, though?
It's her right, like, if she wants to, and that's the thing.
What time is hers?
It was, she's third on the center court, so whenever the first two end, that's when she'll play.
Okay. Against old Joint?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't give you much there. I can't help you. She has
Maya Joint.
She's earned the right. That's fine. I'm not trying to take anything away from her. Just, I wish she didn't. I wish that it was okay for her that it was just over. Now, maybe she genuinely believes that if she plays for the summer, she could be in form at the U.S. Open. And I'm not trying to say she can't win matches. She can't beat. But remember, when she was playing regularly, and a few years ago, she wasn't a threat to win slams. I don't know. It was nice the way it ended. It was really nice. And so it's one of those bummer. You're like, that was. It's like Michael Jordan in a Wizards uniform. You're like,
that was pretty good.
No, it wasn't. It's not going to hurt her legacy. That didn't hurt his legacy. You just kind of like the way that it ended.
What was her last match? Or the last time she played?
That was I always confuse the 20s with the O's. I don't know why that is. It was 23, right?
22, yeah.
22. Wow.
U.S. Open.
Jesus. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, she wasn't a threat to win. So, again, it's her right. She's Serena Williams. If they'll let her play, she can go play. But I just wish I'm such a Serena Williams fan. Like, that I just wish she didn't. But I looked up and I was like, what? Reese Davis and Andy Roddick? What is going on? And then I remembered that, unfortunately, Chris Everett is not at Wimbledon because she's going through an ovarian cancer fight again. So thoughts to Chris Everett. I'm sure that means a lot coming from me. And
she couldn't do it without you.
And then Griffin really went on a deep dive because I was like, Reese, what is Reese doing there? And it turns out he requested the Wimbledon assignment, which is, I guess he just wants to do everything that Chris Fowler did. Like, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like, if Chris did it, then I want to do it. But cool. I mean, Reese Davis is very good at everything he does, so I'm not, like, angry that he's at Wimbledon. It was just surprising looking up. I'm like, Reese
They should bring Lee Corso out, too.
Is Chris McKendry not? Where is Chris McKendry? Is she not there because Reese is there? I don't know.
Wait until we get Pat McAfee doing Wimbledon.
Oh, God. Although Wimbledon has the power to say,
Okay.
Like, that's the type of thing that, like, he'll bitch about. He'll do, like, a week on his show about, like, I just wanted to go over there. I just wanted to, like, bring some. It's a sport that people don't care about the same way in America, and I was going to bring some attention to it. Like, that's what he'll do, and they're just going to be like, bro, we don't give it. We do not give a rat's ass. We don't care. Sorry, bro. Like, we don't. You can complain about it all you want. We don't care. All right. What was on the list? Oh, let's do the thing. We'll do that.
Three up.
And 3 down.
Really never done anything with this. 3 Up and 3 Down is brought to you.
It's a good
by,
intro.
It's most certainly not the print issue of Press Box, which is
everyone
available.
always says how much they like it.
If not heard that from one person. It's available at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. It's not Kevin Brown's fault. He's on the cover. Great cover story about him.
Are we
Plus,
sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because he was gone and it wasn't any better when he was off doing softball. Or was it? Was that when it was better?
No, because he kickstarted it with the Memorial Day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
so not Kevin Brown's fault, definitively. Go pick this up.
But yeah, maybe
your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. It's also our annual travel issue with great sports tourism ideas for you and your family all summer long. Go get that at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores for free. You can also read it for free at PressBoxOnline.com. The down is the more consideration this week because it was a 2 and 4 week. So we start with the up. Not a lot of candidates.
Not many.
Not
at all. I feel like you're going to get mad about one of the guys on my list.
Lord. I went with Grant Wolfram at number 3. I mean, I don't know why you're laughing. He had 3 appearances. He allowed 1 hit over 2 and 2.
I'm laughing because Grant Wolfram's on the list. That's.
I mean,
it wasn't on mine, but
Grant Wolfram had a good week. Grant Wolfram is number 3.
He threw 8 scoreless innings in Anaheim. And they only won 2 games on the week.
No, you can't put Kyle Bradish on the list.
He had a 2.25 ERA for the week.
That's great.
He had a 1.008 whip on the week.
On the list.
All right. Well, they should have played better then. I guess if they didn't want Kyle Bradish on the list, they should have played better. Kyle Bradish is my number 3 for the week.
Can't put Kyle Bradish.
He threw 8 scoreless innings.
I'm aware. And then he had
and they only won 2 games.
And then
He's
he had
the sole
another
reason
start.
they won one.
And then he had another start. Yeah. God.
There were no options. There were no options for this.
Grant
week.
Wolfram was an option.
Yeah, okay, not on my list. Not on my list.
Pete Alonso's number 2. Reached base 11 times, drove in 6 runs. He had a good week. Pete Alonso's number 2.
Had the highest OPS of anyone not named Holiday or Trump. So
I don't think we were gonna put Chad.
And yeah, they weren't gonna go on there. So yeah, Alonso number 2. You got that one right.
Yeah, thanks. And Trevor Rogers is obviously number 1, who was phenomenal, was outstanding. He's had back-to-back brilliant starts. Hopefully, unlike Kyle Bradish, he'll be able to make it 3 consecutive brilliant starts. To the down. I didn't know what to do with it. I don't want to pile on Jeremiah Jackson, but he actually did get at bats this week, and he went 3 for 15. Like, that's the reality. Like, if he hadn't gotten at bats, then I wouldn't have felt the need to pile on. But he got at bats, and he did not make the most of them. He went 3 for 15, and at this point, it really is not a travesty that the Orioles sent Jeremiah Jackson down. He's number 3.
No Jeremiah Jackson on my list. I went with Rico Garcia as my number 3.
He's my number 2.
I mean, yeah, he didn't have another good week. I still don't think he's like the problem, obviously, for this team, but he definitely contributed to that collapse in Anaheim.
It's
so
a bummer. It's
Rico Garcia.
It's just a bummer. Yeah, he's number 2 on my list.
Shane Baz is my number 2.
Okay.
He wasn't on your list
no,
at all?
he didn't make my list, but I get it. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, you get 5 runs in 5 innings to one of the worst teams in the league, or at least we think. I guess. I mean,
yeah, there's no doubt he is deserving of consideration on this list. And look, Gunner's number 1. Gunner's number 1, and it's not because he doesn't have moments. I mean, the play he made to end the game on Friday night was decent.
Yeah, it was.
When you play shortstop, you do get a lot of chances. It's just awful right now. I mean, it's awful. There's no getting around it. It was a problem when he was hitting home runs at the beginning of the season. He was a problem at that point because it was just home runs. Now it's not that.
Yeah.
Now it's a great big ball of nothing.
He did get a hit in the top of the 10th inning on.
He did. That
Saturday.
happened when they managed to run themselves out of another run. I mean, I get it. You're gonna. There's been a lot made about the contact play.
Either.
Reed and I had a whole conversation about it from the Angels game. I don't even remember who it was that was thrown out at home in that one. The contact play is what it is. Like, you're not gonna suddenly say if the infield's in, we have to take the contact play off. The advantage is the ability to score a run with 2 outs. Now, is there an argument? You need to think more about who's on. I don't know. I don't know.
Should they just start doing suicide squeezes, like a squeeze every time? Like
maybe there's an argument for it. I think maybe depending on It was Jeremiah Jackson, right, on Saturday?
Yeah, he was hitting.
I believe.
Or no, or it was Ward. Yeah, Jackson was Jackson on third. Jackson was on third.
Jackson
Ward
was on
hitting.
third. Yes,
yeah.
correct. Ward was hitting.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't have the answers, but Gunner's number one. That's the point.
Yeah.
Gunner's number one.
Yes.
Just sucks.
It's bad.
Just sucks. We'll get that up. GlennClarkRadio.com here momentarily. I had a few things on my list from the weekend. Bad weekend again for the Whip Snakes. Now's the time. When they were hot, you didn't want to have the time off. Now it's probably for the best that it's All-Star break weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the case. Just lost a couple. Fix it. That's all I got for you. They lost the Outlaws on Saturday. Thoughts to former Titans running back Chris Johnson.
Yeah.
Crazy story. And obviously we're very familiar here in Baltimore with the battle that O.J. Brigance has shown for now near 20 years in his fight with ALS. And he has been an absolute hero and has remained a civic institution during his fight with ALS. But if you saw it this morning on Good Morning America, CJ2K, Chris Johnson, is in the throes of a battle with ALS and is already at the point where he can't talk. He's just 39 years old. It is tough. It is tough to see. But, again, we know well here in Baltimore from seeing it with O.J. Brigance that you can still make a world of change in your fight with ALS. Another gambling story. Good news to the NBA. Malik Beasley at the center of this one. Apparently, he was doing a little bit of both, where he was both hitting the unders on his props, but then sometimes he was telling them, I'm going to get the over. Like they found a text thread where he got his rebound with 1 second left, like fight apparently through Orioles legend Pat Connaughton to get it. And like the text thread lit up, and he was losing his mind about getting a stupid rebound with 1 second left in a game that didn't matter. Maybe a dead giveaway. Maybe the type of thing that's going to make people look and say, why is Malik Beasley so excited about this meaningless rebound? Well, not great. Not great is all I can say. And I just want to spend a second here before we get to Tidbit. Over the weekend, WJZ13 made it known publicly that former sports reporter Stan Saunders had passed away at the age of 72. Stan Saunders, who has been out of media for a bit. I know he was doing some stuff over at Morgan State, but he's been out of media for a bit. Stan was a wonderful professional and maybe one of the nicest guys in the world. I had watched a lot of Stan Saunders growing up. He was never the lead sports anchor at WJZ. It was, Buren, and then it was Viviano. He was their number 2. He was their weekend guy and, did a lot of the field reporting. He would go out and do a lot of live on-the-scene stuff. But I would tell you, even when I was on the beat covering the Ravens, Stan was out constantly and always had great rapport with the players, had an infectious energy. Griffin's showing a clip that I think Mike Helgren shared of Stan reporting during the visit from the Cuban national team at Camden Yards. Stan was just a wonderfully nice man, just a genuinely nice person, was the epitome of a professional, and had such a great energy and such great rapport with the players and teams that he covered. He, ironically, was the only person who knew how to pronounce Haloti Ngata's name correctly. We always, this is straight shoot, we always thought he was pronouncing it. We're like, why does Stan say Haloti? Like why is that the case? And then as it turns out, like years later, Haloti Ngata was like, oh yeah, by the way, that's actually how my name is pronounced. And we were like, oh, so we're the jerks. I really loved being around Stan. Just a wonderful person, and someone who was the epitome of a professional. So safe home, Stan Saunders, you will be terribly, terribly missed. Let's wind things down. We'll get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by County Sports Zone. All summer long, anything you need to know about high school sports in the state of Maryland, news, changes, coaching changes, things along those lines, they've got you covered. CountySports.zone, proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com.
We were, so other things that happened on June 29th, 2004, I was going to go back to, and that was the day that Randy Johnson recorded his 4,000th career strikeouts.
Everybody remembers.
Yes, of course.
Everybody remembers.
June 29, 2004, my
Who
fourth birthday.
Who was he with at that point?
Do you want to guess?
The Giants.
No.
The Yankees.
No.
The Mariners.
No.
Well, I don't think it was the Expos, so now it requires me the Diamondbacks.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. He was a Diamondback. He was became the fourth to ever record 4,000 strikeouts, and still only the fourth man. Still only four guys with 4,000 strikeouts. Who are they?
Wait, say that one more time.
There are four. He's the fourth.
Oh, okay.
Three others with 4,000 strikeouts.
Roger Clemens.
Yes.
Nolan Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Number one.
And
this Nolan Ryan guy, pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I've heard
5,714.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's getting that one. I think that one's going to be safe. Son of a bitch. Now I'm torn. I think it's Steve Carlton. Steve Carlton.
It is Steve Carlton.
Yes. And I got a chance here. Now this is what I'm worried about.
No, that's it. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. Well,
well,
Randy.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Take that. Bickety bam. It's a shame that one wasn't at trivia tonight. I would have been right on.
Well, what if it is at trivia tonight?
It might be good that it would be.
22 years ago, Randy Johnson recorded it.
I'd be very surprised if they were worried about Griffin Bass birthday trivia. Big night at trivia tonight because we're using our collective gift cards, and we have a rule now that when we get to gift card night, we all order the fajitas. And they bring out.
So it's sizzling.
It's I don't know how to explain it. It makes me so happy. The table of just sizzle and smoke. Like it smokes out the whole. It's a great night. It's a great
People
night.
probably love it.
You should come play. You should join the team again. We left you in the group chat for a very long time.
I'm no longer in the group chat?
Yeah, because then we would be sharing the questions,
I'm
and then
not
I'd want to share them the next day.
I muted the group chat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
A team player you were. I was like, Griffin,
well, yeah, so that way we could do the stuff at the show the next
Griffin,
day.
I was like, you should join the team. And then Griffin said, nah, good.
I did the one time, and did I help? I don't know. I don't think I did.
Not really. All right.
Because every now and then you do get a Bad Bunny question. And
yeah, that's when we need you. That is when we need you. Let's get tubular.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
Here's what's coming up tonight, totally tubular-wise. Are you going to the game? How did you celebrate your birthday? Did you do anything?
Didn't do a whole lot this weekend.
Are you doing anything tonight?
But yeah, we're going to the carnival.
Going to the what?
The Manchester Carnival.
Oh, that's the big one.
It is.
Everybody's always saying
it is.
that.
Everybody loves the Manchester Carnival.
So
that one's in town. So me and my mom are going to that.
Look at that.
Because I like the carnival.
Look at that's your. Now, are you going to?
Well, then I'm leaving tomorrow. So
are you going to
I'm
win
leaving
like a
tomorrow
stuffed
night,
animal or something?
I might ride the zipper or something.
The zipper, huh?
Yeah,
That's the one for you at the carnival.
I think so. I'm thinking about it.
Would you want people to join you in a celebration of your birthday if we put it out there?
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's going to the Manchester Carnival, sure. But
come by. Do they do beer at the Manchester?
They do.
Carnival?
We do. We have
come
a beer
by
garden now.
Griffin a beer at the Manchester Carnival tonight to celebrate his birthday.
Thank you.
Shane Boz and former Terp Sean Burke tonight 6:35.
Who do we
on
root
Madison. The Orioles open up a series against the White Sox. World Cup today at 1 o'clock, Brazil and Japan. That's on Fox. Germany and Paraguay from up in Foxborough at 4:30. Netherlands, Morocco, a really good one tonight at 9, all on Fox. Wimbledon underway on ESPN with Rhys Davis at the desk. That's the big story today. Non-sports?
Not really. American Ninja Warrior. And Disney's doing their America presentation on ABC. Disney Celebrates America. And there's a 2-hour special of coast-to-coast event exploring Disney
I love the
parks.
idea of like the categories that are involved with celebrating America, like jazz music, barbecue food, the Twister movie franchise. Like
that'd be a good
all
one.
of the important
I'd be
ones.
interested in that one.
Gonna cover in
That's what Helen Hunt's up to.
Yeah, that's on.
Yeah, Disney
special
Parks
start
thing.
time for WWE Raw tonight at 6:00. Your reaction to the big news from the weekend?
What happens?
Got a new world champion.
Io Sky?
Not Io Sky, a new men's world champion.
Who was it?
For the first time ever.
Seth Rollins?
No, he's definitely been the champion before.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I was like. But I'm trying to remember what names I heard while you were listening this morning.
First-time champion. Sami Zayn is the champion.
Who'd he beat?
Beat Cody Rhodes and Gunther in a triple threat match.
I don't like that he beat Cody.
Yeah, because
I like Cody. Yeah, I'm a roadhead.
Bit of a star effort. Was that what they call him? I love that. I didn't know that was. I think Rhodes Scholar could have worked, but sure, we'll go with Roadhead. I like that. I mean, I do want it to be known for the record. I like Roadhead. Everyone knows that about me. Yeah,
but yeah, I guess if he beat Gunther, that's good.
Big story from
Wait,
the
who
weekend. Well,
who beat?
Sammy's a heel.
Did Cody?
Though. They let him win the belt as a heel. I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I don't like that at all.
Who put out Gunther? Did Cody put Gunther out, and then
I actually haven't watched. I don't know. I don't have the answer. So, thanks today to Ian Nicholas Quillen. Thanks also to Brad Brach. We'll get that up in the greatest hits section of the.
So here's the issue: they're all off this week. So do you want to watch a rerun of Walton Goggins and Science Bob on Kimmel?
No, but I like Walton Goggins a lot. I don't think I would go to that tour.
I bet you end up watching.
Tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Tomorrow on the program, the great Keith Mills is joining us in studio. We'll look forward to that. Jim Bowden, we're going to spend some time chatting with the former MLB GM about the Adley Rutschman possibility and what else the Orioles might do moving towards the deadline. And this is it. So if Glenn Clark Radio is your drug, you better snort as much as you can tomorrow. Because
So we're going to do a special 4-hour show?
No, we are not.
We'll see.
We're out of here.
We'll see. I'll try, John.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody.
I'm going to call Jim Nance. I'm going to call Ian Eagle. And just all the...
Griffin hasn't been bothering to book any guests recently because he's been storing them up for the big special.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including
Get John Miller or something.
Live Casino and Hotel. That would be about an hour. The Baltimore Orioles. We can talk about the two worst teams in baseball.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Orioles, the Costa's Inn, your Baltimore area High's Dairy Stores, Merriweather Post Pavilion. I spent 2 evenings at Merriweather this weekend. I was at Jack Johnson on Friday night. Had a great time. Bumped into radio's Jeremy Kahn at Jack Johnson on Friday night.
He still does radio?
I think he takes a lot of vacations, though. I think he's just constantly on vacation. And then Saturday night, I saw the Strokes at Merriweather. Had a great time. 2 great summer evenings at Merriweather. Leading Edge Auto Body, Warnken Law, 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org, Cruise Maryland, CountySports.zone, the Maryland Department of Health, your local Toyota dealer, and buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin. Happy birthday at Griffin_Bass.
Thanks, John and Little Rock.
Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Monday evening. For the love of God, go Birds. Duke sucks.